Nimmo with a drive, right field, Garcia back, Brandon Nimmo has given the Mets the lead, a two-run homer, and it's 6-4 in the 8th.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shea Station podcast. It is Monday, August 1st. The Mets are 64-37. They have just swept the Miami Marlins in Miami. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jack, aka Jolly Olive. Joining me over Zoom is my guy, Jerry Blevins. We have actually done this already today. If you saw my tweet.
It's Monday, August 1st, Groundhog's Day for us.
A little
you
deja
don't know it,
vu.
but I am now back. I'm in New York. I'm in my hotel room here in Soho, but I was at the studio, and we recorded this episode already. But the file on the SD card was corrupted. By the time I got back, they said, we got to scrap it. So here we are, round 2, but round 1 for you guys. So we are going to bring the energy. We've already had a practice round. This is the real deal now.
This is actually what we do every single time we record. We do the episode once, and then we do it again. Yeah, you'd think that like 86 would be a lucky number for Mets fans for our episode. But no, this is the first episode we've ever lost. Ever. Crazy.
And it was like fun because we were in together. I got to see Audio Jack's amazing mustache. I got to see your incredible beard. Like just quality. You know what? It was worth it because I got to see everybody in the JM office. It was phenomenal. We got to hang out a little bit. Got to see Jake Storiali's wonderful face. Got to see Jimmy. It was great, man. Good stuff.
You wouldn't trade it for anything. So, Jerry, I know we've already discussed a lot of what we're going to be discussing today, but do tell me about your weekend in the booth, please.
It was fun, man. My first time in the booth, the A's. I got to cover the A's with the great Glenn Kuiper on TV, in-game for TV for the first time. Lots of fun. They're playing really good baseball right now. They played it, and they lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, who are still in the hunt in the Central. But it was fun. Really love TV, but I'm happy to be back on the Mets beat doing it because they played phenomenal baseball in Miami. Maybe the best baseball they played all year.
Yes, they did. The bats were working. It looks like that lineup has come back to life. They're keeping the line moving like they were at the beginning of the season. They looked very good. We are going to talk about the Mets sweep of the Marlins, but it is brought to you guys by Bear Burger. Thank you to them for sponsoring yet another episode of Shea Station. They're the most hoppin' burger joint in town. Once Jerry finished Shea Station for the first time, he went, got a burger, got on the train. Now he's back. He's got a burger in his stomach. It's obvious.
Might go for a second time.
Honestly, it's
right
that good.
This.
It's really that good. They got the Bear Burger Kitchen Bar Happy Hour. It's the best in New York City, 12 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. They got their exotic burgers, bar bites at the Bear Burger Kitchen and Bar. So many bees. All food items for $9.95 Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. And of course, they got their lunch special, which is what Jerry tapped into. Bear Burger Kitchen and Bar, 12 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, $14.95, all served with fries. So many good deals at your new favorite happy hour place. So click the link in our YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast description to find yourself at your new favorite happy hour spot, burger joint, and luncheon. Marketing.bearburger.com. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's game recaps. Jerry, let's do it all over again. I'll take game 1. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's hit it.
Let's do it. You know, it's nice to repeat recaps when the Mets are winning every single game. They went into game 1 facing off against big bad Sandy Alcantara, and they stranded the first 2 runners on after a Marte single and Lindor walk in the first. So it was looking kind of dire at first, but after getting the first 2 outs in the bottom of the inning, Bassett loads the bases and allows a big 3-run double to Miguel Rojas. So 3-0 Marlins, but the Mets lineup is back to keeping the line moving, and they responded quickly, which is what we like to see. They rallied to tie it immediately in the following inning. Canna doubles with 1 out. Nito draws a huge 2-out walk to keep the rally going, and then Nimmo's double brings in 1, and Marte's triple brings in 2 to tie the game at 3. The Marlins scratch out another run in the second inning on a double play, but then Starling Marte strikes again with a solo home run, his 11th home run of the year, to tie it at 4, all in 2 innings off the prospective Cy Young candidate, Mr. Alcantara. Chris Bassett, he rebounds after a shaky start. He goes 6 innings, allows 6 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, no home runs. His ERA is up to 3.83. His quality start streak is snapped at 6 in a row. The Mets, they get 2 runners on in the 5th. They don't score, but they do knock out Alcantara after just 5 innings. It's just the 4th time in 21 starts this year that Sandy goes under 6 innings, and the Mets are responsible for that. We love that. The Mets draw 2 walks with 1 out in the 7th, but they fail to convert there, so it's still a tie game, but come the 8th, they get the big hit they've been waiting for all game long. Escobar gets an infield single, he legs it out, and then big bad Brandon Nimmo, who's been kind of slumping, gets the big hit, a go-ahead 2-run homer to make it 6-4 Metsies in the 8th. He was previously 3 for his last 24 with no walks. Kind of alarming there. The Mets bullpen shut down the Marlins in the final 3 innings. Adam Ottavino had another scoreless inning. What else is new? Trevor Williams, you can use him anywhere. He's a Swiss Army knife. He is the setup man in this game. He does a scoreless 8th inning. And then Edwin Diaz, 1 pitch shy of that immaculate inning. He throws 10 strikes, sits down the Marlins, strikes him out in order, gets his 23rd save. Multi-extra base hit games for Starling Marte, Brandon Nimmo, and my guy Dan Vogelbach. The first 2 collect 3 RBI each, and the Mets win this one pretty dominantly, 6-4. They take the first game.
Love it.
Very nice.
The Starling Marte parte. The guy's incredible. Doing amazing things. Nimmo's big home run.
Yep.
He will being the setup guy, and Diaz, Joey Wendell just had to foul off that last pitch. It was nasty, and he just tipped it and then went down on 10 pitches. So he only did it in 10 pitches.
It's not that impressive.
We call that immaculate. If it's immaculate,
it would be immaculate.
That's not funny joke. I tried, and then as I said it, I was like, "This isn't funny." But he's dominant. That is a fact. Spoiler alert: Game 2, your boy Jerry gets another W. This is Cookie Carrasco versus Nick Neidert. I think it was a mismatch, but Neidert making his 2022 season debut. Cookie gets in a jam with 2 runners on in the first inning, but escapes. Neidert retires, matching Cookie, going first 7 in an order, and then Jeff McNeil has a little coming out party, hits a bomb, gets the best silent treatment maybe I've ever seen in the history of baseball. Absolutely awesome. That ruins the night. The great start to Neidert. Nito, Nimmo, Lindor follow up with singles to score it, make it 2-0. Cookie Carrasco just cruises. Maybe his best start in his best month of July, went 7 2/3, no runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 7 Ks on 93 pitches. He was cruising, gave up a double to LeBlanc in the 8th inning. His first hit of his career. It was a good one for him. Congratulations. But Cookie was great. In steps Seth Lugo, who gets the out in the 8th, but really it was Lindor and Nito who backpicked LeBlanc, who just had a career high, and then has an oops at second base, gets picked off, still gets high fives, butt slaps in the dugout because congratulations, you're a big leaguer. You've got a batting average, but don't do that again. Great throw, great tag. Love to see it because those are the kinds of things that you can steal and out in the playoffs. Beautiful. Love to see it. The Mets add on. Lindor goes 3 for 4 with a homer in the 8th. Sorry, Lindor homers, crushes one to right field, and J.D. Davis off Richard Blyer sends one to deep center. The hardest hit home run to dead center outside of Giancarlo Stanton I've seen in a long time. He crushed the ball. Our boy Jack decides that he wants to trade him on the spot. Went shopping on Twitter, says, "Come get your boy JD." Put him in a Cubs hat. That's neither here nor there, but Seth Lugo dominates in the final 3 outs, getting the last 4 actually, but he dominated in the 9th. The Mets never looked down. They continue the winning ways. They get up 4-0. That is the ball game. Game 2 W. Go Mets.
Like that. Another Game 2 dub for our guy Jerry, who's
feels good.
Kind of a streak now. I think this is back-to-back. I'm
jinxing.
jinxing. We need to keep the meme alive.
Don't stop it. But it's nice. I love it. Shout out to all the Shea Station listeners and fans on Twitter. That is my main social media. That's where I go. And they're always like, Game 2 W for you, Jerry. They recognize. I love it. I love the interaction. But it was a big win to continue. Cookie Carrasco, let's just talk about him real quick. Just an absolutely stellar, kind of quietly July. Tell me about his July.
Yeah, so I liked what you said, that it was kind of quiet, because most of these starts, Cookie doesn't make it past the 6th inning. I think the Mets are really figuring out the sweet spot of how long he can go in games. I think he's figuring out a recipe for success himself. We kind of saw the shaky first inning thing come back, but he was able to weasel out of most of those jams. He had bases loaded with the Padres, got out of that. 2 runners on in this one, but he gets out of that. 7 2/3 scoreless, maybe his best start of the season for Cookie. In July, he goes 5 games started, 30 innings pitched, a 0.90 ERA, 27 strikeouts to 9 walks. That is the third lowest single-month ERA for a Mets starting pitcher in the last 30 years. Jacob deGrom had a 0.51 in April of last year, and Frank Viola a 0.86 in April of 1991. Cookie was in some very special company this month.
That's special. And on top of that, he becomes the 8th Venezuelan-born pitcher to reach 100 wins. That is an amazing mark. He hit the century mark. Incredible shout out to Cookie. He's been quietly, and like you said, they found the formula, I think, for him, quietly being super dominant. Looked great, continued a great run. Congratulations on an amazing July.
Yeah, and J.D. Davis gets his last home run as a Met before he is traded.
That's horrible. You might have to see this man face to face.
I know, I feel bad. Look, and J.D. is a really nice dude.
I'm kicking you out of the Mets. I don't want to see you anymore for my favorite team. Get out of my life.
I don't have beef with J.D. First of all, J.D. was
you don't have beef.
2019 hero. Yeah, he might have beef with me now. Listen, I'm just one man, you know? He hears it from the fans.
He's just one man.
I know. And I have such conflicting feelings.
He probably saw the ball and saw an olive rolling towards him and then smashed it in the center.
If it's something that helps him hit better, I'm all for it. If I'm the inspiration, I'll take it. I wanted J.D. Davis to have a breakout season this year. I wanted the him and Dom platoon DH to work, and it just has not. And the Mets, one thing I'm kind of hoping for in this re-record is that we get a trade in the middle of the episode, because I do think that would make all of this worth it. I don't know.
Audio Jack, while you're brushing your mustache, make sure that you're scrolling Twitter, making sure this stuff's happening, please.
I'll keep an eye out.
Refresh passing every 5 seconds.
Keep a lip out.
You never know what's going to happen. Yeah, so dominant Game 2 victory for the Mets. Seth Lugo is on a heater. He's looked really good his last 6 outings. It looks like he's kind of back. That fastball's got some zip. Curveballs are dropping.
Yep. On the broadcast, Ron Darling, being the best in the biz, said something that I thought resonated. He said that the last outing, it looked like Lugo was pitching with his hair on fire, like something got lit inside of him. He wasn't searching anymore. He just says, I'm going to throw the shit out of this ball, and I'm going to get them MFers out. And it's back to being that guy because he was lighting it up. His curveball looked really sharp and consistent. His fastball, while the velo is up, he still has some room to grow even, but he's been dominant. So happy to see him. He stepped into that role because it was only 4-0. Didn't want to have to pitch Edwin Diaz because he wasn't up. But he never even opened the door for a possibility of pushing Diaz because he never let a runner on.
Exactly. And I don't think Lugo was ever in danger of losing his job per se or his roster spot, but definitely was in danger of moving down in the pecking order. Trevor May's coming back. The Mets are looking for bullpen help. Tyler McGill is apparently going to be a part of the bullpen when he comes back. There's going to be a lot of guys vying for about 6 or 7 big spots, and Lugo figures to be a fixture in this pen, but he's really proving that he deserves to stay in this last week that he's had. And honestly, just a really good month of July in general. I think Mets fans are beginning to trust him again, like that 2018-2019 form of him that we saw previously. So the Mets take the first 2 in pretty dominant fashion, but they save their biggest, most dominant win for Game 3 against Pablo Lopez, who's been pretty good against everybody this season except the Mets. 2 starts, he's been kind of tagged pretty bad by our Metsies, and they got him the worst time in Game 3 here. They storm out of the gate with a 3-run first inning against Lopez, back-to-back doubles by Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso, who was kind of quiet in the series except for this last game. That opens the scoring 1-0 Mets. Then McNeil and Canna add RBI singles to make it 3-0 in a 5-hit first inning. The Mets tag Lopez for 3 more runs in the third, knock him out before the end of the inning. He only goes 2 2/3 against our Mets. McNeil doubles, then he scores on a Naquin RBI triple. That's his first Mets hit, so some claps for him. Mark Canha adds another RBI single. Nimmo singles on another run after that. It's 6-0 Mets in the blink of an eye. They get 12 hits before the end of the third inning off Lopez, so just a nightmare start for him. Maybe the trade rumors are swirling around in his head, I don't know, but that definitely messed with him a little bit. Taijuan Walker was on the opposing slab. He wasn't sharp like we've seen him the past month and a half, but he does enough to get a victory here. 5 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run on 101 pitches. That ERA goes up to 2.79 on the year. His quality start streak ends like Bassett's does. His was at 8 innings, so a little salute there for Taijuan, but he does pretty well. He got tagged in the 6th inning, so he wasn't able to make it out of there. Matt LeBlanc, I know his name's not Matt, but of Friends Fandom, that was kind of hard to say.
Friends Fame.
Friends Fame, I like that. That's much better.
Fame, yeah.
He gets a home run, his first major league home run off Taijuan LeBlanc. He surrenders those 2 runs in the 6th, but then the Mets get them right back right afterwards. Canha singles, and then he steals a base. He catches the Marlins asleep. And then Nimmo and Lindor tally RBI hits in the 7th inning. And then our old friend, who we haven't seen in a couple months, Steven Nagosic, he's back with the club, and he eats up 6 outs for the Mets bullpen. He lowers his ERA to 0.61 on the year with 2 scoreless innings in this game. Our re-record has ruined my trivia question for you, but we got Steven Nagosic in the Addison Reed trade, which I had forgot about until very recently.
Also stellar stash.
Also a stellar stash. Nagosic, I think that powered him up a little bit. That's actually Jack's favorite player. That's his inspiration there. And then Yohan Lopez, who I feel like we only ever see in the 9th inning of blowout games. He gets the easy 9th inning, seals the sweep.
Great job.
Mets win 9-3. The offense has arguably their most impressive game of the season. They tally 19 hits, 3 hit games for Lindor, McNeil, and Canha, 2 hit games for Alonso, Vogelbach, Guillorme, and Mazeika, who had a couple nice bunts in this one. The Mets strike out just 1 time in 9 innings and go 8 for 18 with runners in scoring position, and they do it all without the long ball, not a single home run. So they win 9-3. They sweep the Marlins. They move to 26 games over 500 for the first time in 16 years, and they are riding very high right now.
Beautiful. Team season high, 19 hits.
Whew.
Wonderful. Taijuan has been so dominant. We were like, oh, he's not very good. He went 5 2/3, gave up 3 runs.
Yeah.
Good work. His ERA is all the way up to a 2.79.
Skyrocket.
But they buried Pablo Lopez early, 12 hits before he gets out of the ball game in the 3rd. Wow.
Yeah.
They came out, like you said, you used it, both recordings, storm out of the gate. I like it because that's what they did, man. They hopped on him. They kept the foot on the gas, no break, and that's what you do to lesser teams. And they buried him. They look great this whole series. Shout out to Vogie, Mazeika. You talked about bunts. That's great, man. They looked awesome.
Yeah, we got catchers who can bunt. It's very valuable at the bottom of that lineup. I like it a lot. Mazeika laid down.
If you're not going to crush, you got to be able to do your job, move the hitters over. It's important. Again, we're talking October dreams.
Yep.
So if you can steal a base like Canha did there, like take the extra base when they're not paying attention to you, get an steal an out like they did on the back pick in game 2. If you can put the bunt down, get the runner over, whatever it takes to win the ball game, you do it. They're playing complete baseball. It's awesome to watch. And the Marlins were on the receiving end of just a pounding from a heavyweight versus a middleweight. It was impressive what they did to them.
Yeah, they looked completely outmatched. The Mets are 10-4 against the Marlins this season. More importantly, they're 31-12 against teams in their own division. That's the best interdivision record of any team in baseball. And it's also a really good recipe for winning your division in general. So the Mets keep on the good times there. Yeah, I mean, the Marlins, I don't know exactly what the plan is going forward. I know that they're listening on offers about everybody except for Sandy, so kind of a weird point in their franchise existence, but the Mets have a great record against them. 33 road wins on the season. That's already 3 more than they had last season. And the Mets are a staggering 55-0 when they have the lead after the 8th inning. So a lot of good stats there you love to see for your team. I think we can turn it over to the apple of our eye, which has a lot of hitters on it this week.
I'm for it.
Well,
deservedly. They put an absolute pounding on the Marlins pitching, a pitching staff that's been known to dominate themselves, but instead we get a dominating performance. You let off last time. Yep. Continue your ways. I'll let you go first.
Got to keep it the same. I like that.
Mine feels pretty obvious here, although there are a lot of good candidates, a lot of guys who had a good series. I'm going to pull a stat from one of our listeners, One Shining Mets, who does a lot of cool Mets stats on Twitter. And this was one that was pretty eye-opening to me because I kind of forgot that it was a thing in the first place. Francisco Lindor, he's the apple of my eye, but I want to tell you an interesting tale of his season so far. From opening day to June 2nd, which was the day we went to LA to face the Dodgers and the day that Lindor broke his finger on a door. From opening day to then, he had a 125 OPS plus, 25% better than a league average hitter. The 4 weeks after he fractured his finger on that bad luck door, he had a 79 OPS plus. And in July, with 4 weeks done and healing his finger, he's back up to a 159 OPS plus in this month alone. He had his best month of the season, batting .305, and this was arguably his best series of the entire month. He goes 7 for 11, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBI, 2 runs, 3 walks, just absolutely stuffing the stat sheet. He was in the middle of pretty much every rally that we had. He bounced from second in the lineup to third in the lineup, and it did not matter. Lindor's producing at maybe his most impressive clip during his 2 years as a Met. He's on pace for a 30 home run, 110 RBI season. So if anyone's telling you that he's overrated or not worth the money, they might be mistaken because Francisco Lindor is having a terrific year, and I can't wait to see what he does in these final 2 months. So he's my apple.
Well deserved. Not to mention he just plays Gold Glove caliber shortstop on top of it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well deserved. There's some other names. I want to shout out Starling Marte, who had the amazing game in Game 1.
Yep.
Ends up 3 for 9 with a triple home run, 3 RBI runs scored. Shout out to Vogie, went 4 for 10 with a run, 2 doubles, 2 walks, a hit by pitch. I wanted to give it to McNeil because he looks like he's breaking out, and I think he needs to keep building off of this for confidence. He went 6 for 14 with 2 doubles, a home run, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored. And Cookie Carrasco on his 100th win. If it was a cumulative, month-long thing, I'd give it to him, but I can't because this one is going to my boy Brandon Nimmo.
I knew it.
Brandon Nimmo, 4 for 16, a double, a home run, 5 RBI out of the leadoff spot, and 3 runs scored. Looking like he's breaking out, gaining confidence, working counts properly. Still has another level to climb, but great job setting the table, a table setter in front of these powerhouses. You talked about Lindor. We saw what Marte's capable of. Pete Alonso, the big bopper in the cleanup spot. Getting in front of these guys, getting on base, making things happen. Very impressive.
Yeah, it's been a kind of a weird season for Nimmo, but this was a really big series for him to snap out of this slump that he's been in the past couple months. We are seeing a different version of Nimmo. Nimmo hasn't drawn a walk in 2 weeks, since July 17th. But he has been hitting for power. He got the big hit in Game 1 that ultimately won us the game. His swing looks solid, but we've seen a lot of first pitch swings. And I just think, and we mentioned this in our first recording, that I think when he works walks back into his game in addition to this new power stroke, that is when Nimmo will become the complete version, the complete hitter that we've always known he has the potential to be. Also, not to mention, he's played in now, 93 games this season? 93 games, which is very, very welcome to see. That's already one more than he played last season. And if he reaches 100, it'll just be the second time in his career that he's been able to do that. So it's been really nice to just see him healthy in general.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's still finding his identity as far as approach goes because he set out to drive the ball more, and he's done that. He had that amazing 2018 season. The last time he covered 100, he played 140 games. He had 17 homers, had 28 doubles, and 8 triples. He's kind of on that pace. I think he can still get that hot, but he's definitely gone down on taking those walks. He's attacking balls and hitters count, but they're not always strikes. So I think he's got the right idea, but he's got to learn. Not got to learn. That makes me feel like I'm trying to tell him what to do because I'm a pitcher. Yeah, and I know better than that. It's really hard, but I think he's got to take his approach and then even refine it a little bit more and kind of keyhole the pitcher on those 2-1, 2-0, 3-1 counts to where he's looking for one particular pitch in one particular area of the zone. And if he gets that, then try to lift and separate. But he's very deserving of this apple. on a team series where everybody killed it, Brandon Nimmo gets my apple.
It has been quite a while since we've picked 2 hitters for our apple, and that's kind of just because the Mets pitching has been incredible for the past 2 months, even without, deGrom and for a certain time Scherzer as well. Speaking of deGrom, we got some news, and you can probably tell from the title of the episode. We don't want to jinx anything. I'm knocking on wood, but
it's been announced. It's news.
I know, and it's in the probables, and me and Audio
Yes.
Jack are going to see him tomorrow. We're very excited about it. We're going to take the train to DC.
As you should be.
Jacob deGrom is coming off the 60-day IL, healed from his shoulder scapula injury, and he will make the start Tuesday in Washington against the Nationals.
What game number is that he'll be?
So it's not 1, because 1 is tonight, and then 1 would be the one that I recap, and then 3 is my recap, and that's Wednesday. So that would make
Tuesday,
this one 2.
That's gonna be for me game 2. That is already a win for me. I can't tell you how excited I am to watch Jacob deGrom toe the rubber for a Major League Baseball game again. It's been over a year. Oh, I'm so excited. It's one of those, it's an occasion, man. It is keep your ticket stub to tell your family, in the future that you got to watch this guy pitch. He's that good. You Mets fans understand it, but people around baseball quickly forget how great Jacob deGrom is. I want him to show it in a short stint. Don't get too crazy. Just come back healthy. Get the ball rolling, moving forward, aiming for October. Thank you for coming back. Thank you to the baseball gods for allowing this, Tuesday, game 2, doing your boy a favor. Thank you.
Yeah, and it just worked out for me and Jack by dumb luck. Amtrak is being really awesome and sending us to another game. We're going with a couple other Mets podcasters, the Mets Up guys, Mark and James, and it just happened
the official
to work.
New York Mets podcast.
They got a nice little setup there. And this was booked in May or June, and it's just dumb luck that it happened to be the exact day that Jacob deGrom is returning. We are
I would be going. I'm jealous, but I will be working pre and post for this series, so I can't. I got to be in New York while you guys are going to
celebrity.
DC.
Too busy suiting up on TV. All right.
I know. I do have to wear a suit, which is, for the A's TV, which, by the way, I got to see an Adam Oller start.
Yeah,
former Met Alert.
Our former guy.
Pitched really well. He went up against Dylan Cease. For you all National League fans, Dylan Cease is having a Sandy Alcantara type season, not on that level, but right behind him, leading the Major League Baseball in Ks per 9 from a starter because, Edwin Diaz owns that.
Oh, yeah.
But he has been nasty. But Oller looked solid. He got his first win his last start. And then came back against Dylan Cease and looked solid, man.
I'm happy for him. He's a former minor league pitcher of the year, I think, last year.
He came over in the Chris Bassett trade to the Oakland A's, and we got Bassett. But yeah, he looked comfortable, a little bit more confidence on the mound, which takes a while, man.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes you start to doubt, do I belong up here? It looks like he's starting to figure out that he can get some big league hitters out.
A little bit of a former Met watch there, like that. We also got a bunch of roster turnover. Some new Mets are in the clubhouse now. We mentioned it in our game recaps, but the Mets did acquire Tyler Naquin and Philip Deal in exchange for unranked teenage pitching prospects Jose Acuna and Hector Rodriguez. Kind of a minor deal, but there hasn't been a lot of trades, so it's kind of worth talking about. Does the deal do anything for you?
Yeah, so Tyler Naquin is I don't know Philip Deal that much. I'll have to dive into him, but Naquin's solid, good hitter, got some great speed. We saw the cannon from the outfield. Unfortunately for Travis Jankowski, they had to make some room on the roster for him, and he gets DFA'd. That was sad to see him go because he was a bright spot in the early part of the season, got hurt. He's basically just been pinch running.
Yeah.
And then maybe a late defensive sub. So it's nice to get some thump and those, the speed and defense from Naquin. So I like the addition.
Yeah, it definitely was a bummer to see Jankowski go. For those who forgot, he started his season 9 for 24, 3 stolen bases, a lot of good bunt hits. Jankowski was definitely fun to watch in April, but I think the big telltale sign was when we had him in the lineup of every game against the Braves. Thankfully, a series we still won, but that was Guillorme hitting cleanup and Jank starting every game, and like that lineup was a little bit down bad. So they needed some reinforcements. Naquin is a great addition. Cannon in right field, decent speed. Honestly, he was kind of flying around the bases on that triple.
Solid speed, good runner.
Pop. So he had a lot of balls to the warning track in this series too. He easily could have had a much more impressive stat line. So the Mets are expecting some big things from him. Great platoon bat to have off the bench. This Mets bench is going to get deep, I think, in the next couple of days, and I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Well, I'm hoping we get something in this episode, but we'll see. I'm still refreshing.
We also signed a friend of the podcast, newly signed Kevin Parada, first pick of the draft. So hopefully we'll get him on the show at some point in the near future. He's probably in a little bit of a whirlwind. Signed, going to go play some baseball probably. But he's the number 11 pick overall. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Obviously, when Kumar Rocker didn't sign, that was big news. So it's nice to see that they actually do sign.
Yeah, he did sign for above his slot value, but we're very happy for Kevin. We got to meet him in L.A. Terrific dude, super nice. Hopefully he comes on the show and we can chat it up with him, get to know our new top prospect a little bit more. And, we don't know who's on the in and on the out with these trades coming, so he could be our number 1 ranked prospect. Who the hell knows? But catching prospect, very impressive. Stat line, very nice dude, so we're very happy for him. Yeah, that would have been kind of bad if the Mets went back-to-back years without signing their top pick. So I'm very happy that happened. More roster turnover. We mentioned Tyler McGill before. He could possibly return soon and become a part of this bullpen as a multi-inning monster. Really excited for that. Think he slots in well there. But there's a lot of pitching turnover too. Our good friend, Drew Smith, has a strained lat muscle, and he will be going on the IL. He opened the season real strong, had a couple really rough outings in July and June, and I think we've kind of known that he hasn't looked right for a while. Hopefully he's able to come back before the end of the season and regain his health and become the pitcher that he was in April and May again, because he really was terrific for the Mets in the first month of the season.
Yeah, I hope he comes back at the end of the, here soon, and he's able to contribute down the stretch, because he's electric, man. He's got good stuff. Obviously, he had a chance to step into that 8th inning role, and it didn't work out. But I wish him the best of luck. He's got a bright future. Not worried about him. Just want him to get healthy. You mentioned kind of in passing Tyler McGill being moved to the bullpen. I think that is a huge deal. We've seen it in the past with Syndergaard went back there for when he was a rookie. We saw Adam Wainwright. We've seen Dustin May get moved back there on big teams. I think Tyler McGill will be a weapon in the bullpen. I think they're going to limit his innings. He was unbelievable when he came back before he got hurt. I think it was the 4th or 5th inning, then he went back out. The higher their pitch count goes, the more chance you have of getting hurt are. And so I think they got optioned David Peterson down to give depth to the starting rotation, unfortunately for him. But I think it's a smart move because he's more valuable and very good. He's having a great season, but he's a starter. Tyler McGill, you need those innings. And when he comes out of the pen, he's throwing 99. Yeah. And if you can keep him that 1, 2, maybe 3 innings or 2+ at some point, I think he could be a absolute fire weapon to have down.
Yeah, I mean, it never hurts to have a guy that can give you 2 innings and has that starter profile and all those pitches. And McGill, when he was healthy in April, was unbelievable. He had an ERA under 2 in the first month. And you know me, I'm the biggest McGill fan around. I was singing his praises in the offseason. So it's not what I want from McGill, but I think it's going to be really beneficial for the team and help, get him set up for next year to hopefully return to the rotation. Peterson gets optioned. I'm sure that he's going to be back this weekend. The Mets have a 5-game set, and in there is a doubleheader with the Braves. They're going to need somebody to take that second start. That just feels kind of like an easy go for Peterson. Already had 1 start in AAA, went 4 in the 3rd innings, didn't allow a run, 7 strikeouts, so he still looks good. It's a tough turn, but it's the problem of having a surplus of talent on your active roster. I'm sure Peterson understands, and I think he's probably just hungry to get back with the club and prove himself yet again. This Mets team has so much pitching right now. It's it's everywhere. Nogosek had 2 scoreless innings in the final game, and he's probably going to get demoted again because McGill's coming back. Trevor May is on his way back. He had his rehab assignment. He could be back tomorrow for all we know. The Mets might trade for a reliever. So, I mean, a lot of these guys are not going to even make the cut of being the core 7 that might be on this potential playoff roster. Again, it's a really good problem to have, but for a lot of the younger guys who have things left to prove, like David Peterson, it's a bit of a tough turn. But ultimately, good things.
I agree. It's good. Hold on. The Padres, breaking news right now. Jeff Passan, not for the Mets, but
not for the Mets.
Jeff Passan says the Brewers are trading the second best closer in the game behind Edwin Diaz, Josh Hader, to the Padres.
Which is nuts.
What? That's wild.
Can't imagine what that package looks like, but it's got to be
absolutely
that's wild.
Massive. Yes, that's crazy. But, yeah, man, it's Nogosek has had an amazing season for the Mets. In short stints, he's been dominant. You know, he looked like he found his identity as a relief pitcher, kind of what works for him the best. And sometimes it takes a while to do that. Not everybody can show up on the scene and just be themselves and dominate. Sometimes it takes a little bit, and Nogosek looks great. He knows the role. It's up and down. Sam Clay, nice to see him get up. But again, you never know. But we have a 3-game set coming up in Washington that you'll be attending game 2, the deGrom game. Would you like me to preview those?
Before you do, I got to tell you who it's brought to you by.
This is a good one. A new
sponsors.
Welcome to the Shea Station Ad Central.
Ad family. Joining us is Segal Law Firm. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's episode of Shea Station. They're a New York City-based personal injury and civil rights law firm. We're getting very suity up here. As you can tell, Jerry going on TV with the suit tonight makes perfect sense. What separates them?
T-shirt right now, but...
Yeah, I know. You're looking business casual right now. What separates them from the pack? They truly care about their clients. They have what they like to call a Jerry Maguire type approach, where the primary concern is extreme client attention. They just slipped the word Jerry into the ad read for you. I can already tell. It makes perfect sense.
Show me the money, man.
Exactly. This means clear, regular communications with clients, keeping you updated on your case, and providing assistance with medical providers and insurance issues. They hire the right experts and put every case in the best chance to succeed, treating their clients like family. The misconception that you cannot afford a lawyer is not true. There's no cost to consult with Segal Law Firm and no out-of-pocket costs when they handle your case. You don't pay anything until they recover for you, and then you share a percentage of that recovery. There is nothing to lose. Do not disqualify yourself from a case for no reason. It's always worth a call to Segal Law Firm. Give them a call or visit them at segal-lawfirm.com to get the legal support that you need. That's SEGAL lawfirm.com. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's series probables looking ahead in Washington. Jerry, take it away.
No, first of all, I'm going to shout out. Thank you, Segal Law Firm, for sponsoring. But you missed the chance. I'll just send out some free promo stuff. When you need legal, go to Segal.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome.
Get him on the phone.
You're welcome for that.
Jerry gets a raise for that.
Yep, you're welcome. Excuse me while I get ready for the 3-game set down in Washington. Game 1, Max Scherzer, who himself, despite what Cookie Carrasco did, had a great July. He went 32 1/3 innings with a 1.39 ERA, 45 strikeouts to only 4 walks. What a return from injury. That man, he's overall 6-2 with a 2.09 going against his old club and facing off against old friend, but still friend, Patrick Corbin, who hasn't had a great run. He's 4-14 with a 6.49 ERA. His last start versus the Dodgers, he only went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 6 earnings on 7 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Josh Bell in his career off of Max Scherzer is 4-for-9 with a home run. But J.D. Davis and Pete Alonso both have 4 ding-dongs off of our man Patrick Corbin. That is game 1. Game 2, the return of Jacob deGrom. That is very happy for all baseball fans, and especially this guy. DeGoat returns. He's going against Corey Abbott. Who is that? I don't know either. Jacob deGrom making his long-awaited return after 13 months. He last pitched on 7/7/21 with 7, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, 10 Ks, no walks. Juan Soto, the big bopper, could be in the lineup, could be on another team. Who knows? Could be across the dugout. playing on the same team. But in his career, he's 3 for 15 with a home run off the DeGrom. Abbott will making just his second career start, never gone over 5 innings. That is game 2, the deGrom game. Game 3, Chris Bassett in his 7-7 record and a 3.83 ERA going against Anibal Sanchez. He was 0-3 with a 7.47 ERA. He's only had 3 starts. He's 0-3 on the year. He's allowed 5 home runs in 15 2/3 inning and hasn't reached 6 innings pitched in any of those starts. Chris Bassett will be facing off against Josh Bell. Maybe he's on the other dugout. Who knows? But his career against Bassett, he's 2 for 5 with 2 home runs. That's some big numbers. Should be a nice challenge for Bassett to reach back and find a new tool. Pete Alonso, his career against Anibal Sanchez, 5 for 9 with 2 home runs himself. Lindor, Marte, Nimmo have also homered off Sanchez. That is game 3. That is your 3-game set. That is the series in Washington.
Woo! Yeah, I can't even begin to express how excited me and Jack are to see Corey Abbott on Tuesday. We're huge Abbott heads. Ab guys.
I think it's messed up that you're going there without me and with 2 other podcasters. It's messed up.
Wait, it took 2 men to replace 1 Jerry Blevins.
Wow. They're probably small guys.
I think Mark's like a little short. No offense to Mark. I'm short too.
That's not offensive. I'm thin. I'm tall. It's just a thing that you are.
You just have everything, Jerry, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, big series probables here. We usually say that we shouldn't expect a sweep, but I mean, these probables are just
you want 2 out of 3.
You want 2 out of 3.
You want to win a series. That's the recipe for success. You don't expect a sweep, but it's there for the taking.
It's more fun.
Go for it. That's why you do you, and the players always look big picture.
Yep. Because
you got to win. Try to win every day, but it's not the end of the world because there's a game tomorrow. Move along.
Yep, the Mets get the miserable season of Patrick Corbin. He just coughed up a lot of runs to the Dodgers. We get the first Scherzer and deGrom back-to-back day ever, which is exciting. We've been waiting a long time for it. It still doesn't feel real that deGrom's pitching on Tuesday. Hopefully everything goes exceptionally well. And then the Mets, they look to mop up this series, and then you got that 5-game set that I keep talking about every episode. It's finally happening this weekend with the Braves at Citi Field, the biggest set of the year. There's another 4-game set with the Braves right after it, too, so get excited for that as well. It'll be the proving ground for our Mets, and I think going in hot with another series win is exactly what they need. They've got, I think, 6 wins in a row right now? 2 from the Yankees, 1 from the Padres, sweeping the Marlins. Going there with a 9-game win streak, head full of steam.
Sweeping.
Turn that into
a man. This is baseball. Again, it's not a proving ground to me in that 5-game set. But you can, again, this is the difference between a former player, and a former English teacher.
Exactly.
No, but it's still, early August. It's a proving ground. Yes, you want to battle and lay them on the table, measure them out, if you will. But it's not that. It's another series, just another. It doesn't mean anything, but if you do show out, it's going to feel better. But you just want to win the series, man.
Yes.
Return of deGrom, though. I'm pumped. I almost spiked my open water onto my hotel room floor. That would have been tough. It literally was in my head to just slam it down. I'm so excited.
And before we go today, I do want to give some love to our friend of the pod, really cool artist, my friend Dan, aka Athlete Logos.
Yes.
Jack, is there a way for you to pan the camera or show the people the cool thing?
I have it on that camera right now.
Oh, perfect. So you can just swap
so it's going to be in the thing?
Oh, perfect. So yeah, I think
awesome.
Just block me out or block Jerry out.
Yeah.
He made us
Athlete Logos.
Yes.
So cool.
Coolest thing I ever made is a terrific Shea Station neon sign. If you follow us on our socials, you might have seen it already. It's awesome. It's going to be sitting up there forever. And if you guys want a neon sign of your own, go check out his website. Go get a custom order. It's definitely worth it. It's one of the coolest things I think that we've gotten for our show, maybe ever. And it's awesome. So I want to give him some love. Thank you to Dan for that. And I think that's everything, Jerry.
Unless we get, corrupted in the data again and we got to try it for a third time.
Round 3? Let's do it.
That was good. Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching whatever format that you've decided to consume Shea Station, from Jack's beard to Audio Jack's mustache to my
clean shave stubble, I guess.
Yeah, whatever stubble. This is all I got.
You missed the memo.
We say thank you and let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets, guys. We will see you on Thursday to recap Mets Nats and preview Mets Braves. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.
A career high 15 strikeouts for Jacob deGrom. Alonso to his left, flip to deGrom, and the ball